All right, hello, good people of third period. I hope you're having a good day so far. If not, I hope it gets better for you. So I promised you a video on this amendment project, kind of explaining a little bit about what you're supposed to be doing, a little more in depth than we got to go into yesterday, because I know we were running a little short on time, and that's totally fine. So for your amendment project, everybody should have signed up for an amendment yesterday. If you did not quite get the chance to do so, the link to do that is listed on the board. Please make sure you use the correct capitals and lower cases if you are going to go on there and log in. Once you get on there, please do not switch amendments. Today, before your class period, I will lock you out of it, out of the sharing settings, so that you can't change amendments, so that way you don't try to pull a fast one on me, okay? Once you have your rubric, and everybody should have your rubric, if you don't have one, please check the third period box up on my filing cabinet for yours. So the goal here is to present the amendments to each other rather than me presenting all the amendments and you only learning from me. You learn best when you learn from each other. So all of you are going to be responsible for teaching each other one of the 27 total amendments to our Constitution. So all of you at this point, again, should have signed up for an amendment. Up here at the top of your rubric, if you'll go ahead and put your name down as well as your amendment number. Okay, so if you are let's say, for example, you're the fifth amendment. You're going to put 5 at the top. So that way I can put these in order when you guys are presenting, because you will present in numerical order. And I can grade you accurately from there. So the goal here is to make a 3D visual without using words, and you are going to incorporate the number and depict the meaning. All right, so you are going to create a 3D project because you are an honors student. All right, you are not standard, so you're not going to do a poster. You don't live that life. This part is wrong. All right, your project is due on, dang, we moved that too, is due on Monday, October the 22nd. Okay, so Monday the 22nd. All right, so you don't have a poster, but you should have a 3D project. And I've got a couple examples around my room. The number 8 on the back bookshelf and the house on the back bookshelf are both examples of those. You can do pretty much anything you'd like to do as long as it's appropriate. If your amendment involves alcohol, again, please do not put any specific label of any specific company onto your project. Do not, okay? That is illegal. I'm not allowed to do so. That is technically propaganda. You cannot advertise things that you are not allowed to physically consume yet. Don't do that. All right, so basically what I want from you is a visual 3D project that tells me what your amendment is about. And when you get up to present your 3D project, you're basically just going to show it to us. You tell us what your amendment number is. You tell us what your amendment is about, briefly, and why it was passed. Even if you Google this, you might not get word for word why so-and-so amendment is passed. You might have to do a little critical thinking. Don't break into a sweat, okay? I think you can do it. I believe in you. All right. So here are your criteria that I'm going to be looking at, and when I go through and watch your presentation, this is what I'm going to be looking at physically on your rubric. So does your visual actually have something to do with the amendment? That's 10 points. Is it clear and bold, right, so that people around you can see it and not having to strain their eyes to see it? Is it creative, or is it just some nonsense? Don't do that. You guys are creative. Let your creative juices flow. All right, so are you confident? Are you making eye contact with people around you? Do you know what you're talking about? Do you have a clear understanding of this so you're not reading off of any note cards? There is absolutely no reason that you should be reading off of anything during this presentation. Your presentation should take 30 seconds or less. For example, I will do the First and the Fifth Amendments for you guys. So let's say for Amendment 1, my amendment is the First Amendment. It's about the freedom of religion, assembly, press, petition, and speech, which says you can practice whatever religion you want. You can gather, you can protest the government, you can write, and you can say whatever you feel. This amendment was passed because it was part of the Bill of Rights in order to get the anti-feds to ratify the Constitution. Boom! Done. Check it off. That's all you need. All right? So it's got to be explained. And explain your project. So I made, let's say we abbreviate the First Amendment RAPS, RAPPS. So let's say, for example, I made like a statue of Little Wayne, all right? And I had like RAPPS on his shirt or something. Like, this is RAPS for the First Amendment, and it embodies all 5 parts, something to that effect, okay? Explain what you're doing, explain the number, what it is, why it's passed. All right, so on the back of this, is zoomed in, there are 3 questions that have feds and anti-feds, a T-chart about your amendment, all right, and then in what way does your amendment affect power? Does it give power to the people? Does it give power to the states? How does it affect democracy in the United States? All right, is it giving more or less power to the people? And then thirdly, how does your amendment demonstrate that the U.S. Constitution is a living document? So remember, Article 5, which is a V in Roman numerals, which sets up the amendment process. How does your amendment show that the Constitution is stretching, changing, and adapting over time? So the last 30 points of your project are from these 3 questions on the back of the rubric. You must submit it on time in order to receive full credit. Okay, so if you don't submit it on Monday, that's going to be 10 points off. Okay, so the highest you can receive is a 90 if everything else is right. But I'd prefer you to receive 100 because I have no doubt that you're able to do so. All right, so if you got questions, please text or email. I am right down the hall, and I will see you later in third period.